Okay, calculates, ready to work up a sweat now? We were just doing the warm-up. So on this next one, I have a quotient rule. And one thing that I could do is rewrite that denominator so that it's an exponent instead of a radical. And I like the exponents because they help me see the M&Ms and the chocolate and the peanuts. So when I look at this one, I go, oh, it's got an outer shell of a third, and it's got an inner chocolate part of that. So I'll have to remember that as I'm taking the derivative. But I'm gonna start with quotient rule. So low d high. So here's my low. Derivative of the high is 1 minus high. So now I have to do the derivative of the low. So I'm going to start with the outer shell, which will be 1/3, and decrease that power by 1, because I'm doing the power down rule. So if I take 1 off of that, I'm at -2/3. And then I have to remember that was the outer shell. Now I gotta dissolve the M&M, the chocolate, and so the derivative of the inside would be 2x. And so that part was the d low. And then it's all supposed to be over low squared. So to the 1/3 and then squared. Hopefully you recognize that's going to be a 2/3 on bottom. And so now I got to simplify the top. But remember, I have two separate terms. Everything in front of this is one term. Everything after it is another. So again, I'm going to look and I notice, hey, you got the same chocolate, right? The stuff inside the M&M. Now question, what's the lowest power of that? Well, obviously the -2/3. So I'm going to take out 2/3. And then I look at the leftovers. So the leftover here, well, if I'm doing start what I had minus the one I just took out, that really means I'm adding them. So then I have x² + 4 to the first times the 1. I didn't get rid of that. Well, I probably don't really need to include the times 1. That's not going to make much of a difference, right? Minus, and then over here, all of this is now out in front. So I just need to put together this piece, this piece, this piece. So that's going to be 2/3 x². And then all over that denominator, which we can write to the 2/3. Okay, we got to keep going with this. We are not done. So remember, I can't leave this negative exponent up here. And now if I bring it down, I'm going to have to, oh my goodness, they're a match. The parentheses are identical, which means I could add their exponents. And of course, when I bring this one down, it'll be a positive 2/3. So now on bottom, I'll have 2/3 plus 2/3, which is 4/3. And up here on the top, I have some like terms. So if I do 1 minus 2/3, I get 1/3. And so I can't leave that fraction up there. So of course, one way to get rid of it would be to multiply top and bottom by 3. And so now on top, I'm going to have x² plus 12. And on bottom, I'm just going to leave that outside. So I can't really do anything with it. So my answer looks like this. Awesome!